Here we are then, another Tuesday. Christian didn't knock at the door. So, how did I get on this week? Well, look at these crosses here. Now, the bottom ones, if you remember last video we did, the bottom ones there were just a couple of pixels away from where the average was, because I wanted to stay near the average this week. And I thought that the judges would think that this player in blue was looking slightly higher. So I also put a couple of crosses higher than where the average was. Now I think I judged that right, because if you drew a line from this player on the right here through the winning cross, it would hit where I had gone. But of course, they've gone further to the right from this fella in the stripes down here. So I didn't. I just went higher than roughly where the average was, on the basis that the judges would be looking a little bit higher. Um, But a better result, I think, for our average than we were actually expecting, because we all thought it was a terrible picture. None of us were really sure where the average was going to be. But it was just outside zone 1 into zone 2. So I think that actually turned out better than we were expecting. I had half my money back, so I won't be paying anything this week, which is good. Well done to the winner. And he didn't get it spot on either. He was 1 pixel out on the y-axis, because the winner was 1843.826, and the judge's decision was 1843.827. So let's have a look at the judging, see what they did. So here's a judging video. I think the judging wasn't particularly good. It was all over the place. I mean, look how far to the left and to the right they are, and they'd scattered all over the place. I've already skipped to the end, so I know they haven't taken anybody out. But when you think about it, what could they take out? I mean, again, I think it's the same as last week, maybe, or the week before, that there isn't a cluster as such. Or perhaps it was mine I was talking about, that there isn't really a cluster. There's 2 together there, but that's about it. All the others are out on their own, sort of everywhere. So how could you take any out? So I don't think the judging was particularly good, as it was scattered everywhere. But I think the result made sense. Because if you look at where the guy in blue and the guy in the stripes are looking, then the average winning cross is in the right area, isn't it? It does sort of make sense. So no complaints from me, really, from where the result was, because it was a difficult one. We all agreed it was a difficult one. Let's have a look at this week's picture then, because it's another strange one this week. All right, there's this week's picture. It looks like it's snowing. One thing I got to say here, this picture never happened. This scene never happened. If you look at the outline on both the players' heads, you can see they've both been photoshopped into this picture, which is standard. I mean, the picture is not meant to have an actual football in it anyway. It's more noticeable, I think, on the guy here in the stripes, Boris, the Russian hitman, because you can see sharp angles on the back of his head there. So unless he's deformed, that's from photoshopping at it. So I put 1 cross in there so far. Why have I gone there? Well, remember now, so my first glance, before you leave a message to say, that's terrible. It's just the first look. If I look at this player in blue, his eyes look as though he's looking slightly down, but his eyebrows are raised. So that's a bit contradictory. Also, his head is 45 degrees to us, because he's not looking straight at us, but he's not looking sideways either. So he's sort of looking towards us at an angle. So, which is why I've drawn a line from his eyeball down through there. So it's slightly down. I'll revisit it like I always do. And then when we look at Boris, that's a tricky one, because I'm not sure if he's looking at him, wondering how to kill him, or where along this line is he looking. So, of course, I put my 1 cross there for now, and try to draw some lines from him through my cross to see how it looks. At the moment, I'm thinking it's okay. I'm still not sure whether it needs to be a little bit lower, or I need to take into consideration this guy's 45-degree angle and bring it further sort of out this way, which would put it actually lower again. But that's my first look at what it is. Like we do every week, I'll put a comment in the comment section, and I'll put my coordinate in. This one is in there now, 22321034 to start off. If you leave a reply, we'll do another average on the weekend, because they've been pretty successful so far, to be fair. But mine will probably change, and I'll probably change it through the week the more I look at it. All right, that's it. I'm going to have a look at this week's prizes, because there was 4 sort of highlighted prizes this week. I'll show you which one I've gone for. So from the Fantastic Four this week, I've got my free ticket, and I'm going to play for this one, this 200,000 plus 20 grand holiday. And at first I thought, well, would I spend 20 grand on a holiday? No, I probably wouldn't normally. But I've been having a look at round the world cruises, and there's one on a P&O website, 99 days, which sails from Southampton, Portugal, Barbados, San Francisco, through the Panama Canal, Samoa, Tonga, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, Vietnam, Dubai, Egypt. That's over 3 months I'd be away, and that costs just for myself. The room I picked was just under 18 grand, and I thought, yeah, I'm sure I can push this up to 20. So I think I would, because I'm going to pay the extra 150 and have the extra 50 grand on you anyway. So I'd have 250 cash, 250,000 in cash, plus the holiday. So I think what I'd do, I'd have to take 3.5 months off work, but they won't mind. They wouldn't notice if I didn't tell them. I work from home anyway. I'm supposed to go in once a week. I never do, and nobody notices. So I think I'd order my camper van, then I'd go on 3.5 months on a cruise around the world. That's the one I'd pick. That's the one I'm going for. M3 Touring and 10 grand. I'm not so sure. I think it's not my cup of tea. It's a bit overkill for what I want. It's a nice car, but I think it's probably too much of what I want. The Ineos Grenadier. I do like these. I'm not that bothered about the watch, but it comes with it, so, obviously I'd take it. I do like these in that they look like the old Defender. And I don't think that's a bad price at all. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, that's probably a lovely price. There's something for everybody on here, isn't it? And then the last one then is the Honda Civic Type R. I wouldn't play for that because I'm not 12. So that's what I'm going for, the 200,000 plus a holiday. So let me know how you got on, guys, this week. I'm sure there was a couple of you who had gone further right than the average. So if you stuck to your guns, you were probably pretty close. So well done on that, and you definitely got in zone 1. And don't forget to leave your coordinate now for Saturday's video. Thanks, everyone, and good luck.